Hey guys, it's the Patriot from Advanced Cycle Creations. Today we got a package. Alright, let's see what we got here, guys. Alright, a little package here. Came from orangeconnects.com. So, let's see what we got here. Alright, well, we opened the package there. Looks like we got our box. And plain box, there's nothing on it, just looks like it's got some parts inside of it. So let's take a look and see what's inside, and we'll go from there. Alright, so the parts, let's see here. So we'll start over here on the right. We got a cylinder head. This goes on a 100cc motorcycle engine. No, it's for our bikes. So this one rated at 80 cc's is what I bought it when I saw it online. I needed a new cylinder head because my other one took a large dookie. Yep, so we got a cylinder head there. It also came in the kit, came the piston with the new rings, and it's got the sleeve that's in this package right here with the bearing. Also, it's got the retainer clips, some gaskets. It's got a head gasket. It's got a manifold gasket. This one comes already pre-ready to go, so everything, all I gotta do is just put the piston on the old crankcase connecting rod, and then we can put the sleeve over the top of that, slide it down, put it back together, and hopefully when we do that, we get the perfect combination to get this motor running again. It's a spare motor that I've got, so it's not like I'm going to be able to test the motor right out the gate because I don't have a spare bike right now to do that. So we're going to go ahead and get cracking on it. I'll show you the crankcase and the connecting rod that'll connect to that piston, and then we got the, like I said, the gaskets in that little bag that'll go on there. So this one, like I said, was rated at 80 cc's, so it's not a full 100cc. I'm not really thinking any of these little motors that we get from China are a full 100 cc's. I'm thinking they're rated more around 60 cc's to 80 cc's is where I'm at. So, yep, we're going to go ahead and open up the box with the other parts in it, and we'll get going on it. Alright, so back in the workshop here. This is what I call my workshop here. This is where I do my business, and this is where I work on my bikes and work on people's bikes when I have a chance. I'm going to turn you over here to the motor. Here's that motor that I was talking about. Now, we're not going to be using this cylinder head. Like I said, we got a new cylinder head. But I wanted to keep it so I could show people what happened with this when I took it apart to see what was going on with this motor, because it would start, but it would not keep staying started. I had to give it a lot of gas, and it just did not want to run. Kept falling on its face. So I was like, all right, let's try something new. So what I did is, so I took the cylinder head off and found inside the cylinder head, I don't know if you can see it. Alright, so I've got a flashlight here, and there we go. So now, as you can see in there, right on that down there, and you can see that it is broken. So there's a hole there. There's not supposed to be that size of a hole. What it should look like is like that. Square hole. Both of those are supposed to match. And as you saw on the other one, let's turn right back to it. That one, as you can tell, has that huge piece missing. That's what was making this motor run really rough and would not stay running, is that particulates and particles got down inside there and broke it. So we got the new cylinder head, and the new piston to go on the connecting rod. So pretty much let's crack this open and start going from piece to piece, and I'll show you as we go. I don't have my new camera tripod yet. I got one of them, and now I'm just waiting on the pieces for it. I also ordered another one so I can leave this video running while I'm doing it. That way you guys can see more in depth as I do stuff. So we're gonna go and do the next part. Alright, now that we got the old cylinder head off there, let's take a look at it. Alright, so this is the crank case, is what they call this. Also, this is where the clutch meets, or not, they don't meet, and they meet in the inside under that little case the clutch goes. But we got the crank, and we've got the connecting arm, or the connecting rod, is what they call it. So we're gonna get this thing all lubed up with our trusty lube. It's Lucas. I'm gonna get a good video shot of it. Let's get a shout out to Lucas. Lucas Oil Products, they are great. I would also love to let you know about the other particulate parts of Lucas and the things that I use, and we'll say what is good about Lucas. And alright, so this is that lubrication that I was telling you about. It's semi-synthetic, eliminates dry starts, high performance assembly lube. Now you can pick this up at AutoZone, O'Reilly's, Connecting Parts, depending on where you're at. It might be called something different than Connecting Parts. But I got mine from O'Reilly's. They were very nice, and they were very helpful to help me find this. This is what I use to assemble small parts and also big parts. I work on big vehicles too, so it's not just something that I use for bikes. It's something I also use in applications of putting in cams, also putting in bearings and different things like that. They need to be lubed up, and this stuff is great. So like I said, I give a shout out to Lucas Oil Products there. If you want to get me a sponsorship, that would be awesome. That way I can show on my videos a lot more of your guys' products, like the lubrication for the gas tank, the limited slip differential oil. There's so many different products that you guys put out, Lucas Oil Products. You can pick those up, like I said, at any of the auto parts stores. And yeah, you can get there. Alright, just learned something new about these Lucas Assembly Lube. You don't cut the top off. Nope, that's not how you get it. It's a twist top. Twist it, boom, opens up at the top. Boom, when you're done, oh, you twist it back. Bam, you have got yourself a sealed bottle. That way you can use this stuff, because this stuff's not cheap. I picked mine up for about $9 at O'Reilly's. So if you want to pick one up, there's where you can get it for $9 is O'Reilly's. Lucas Oil Products, love your stuff. Again, giving you a shout out, Lucas. Alright guys, well, when I'm in my workshop working on things, I like to drink Monster. So I don't know what you guys all like to drink, but whatever you like to drink, I always say take something with you when you're building a motor, or working on a bicycle, or having fun. Just have a drink. Me, I've got a soda right now. Cheapy. Had the good stuff. Drank it way quick. Pepsi, yeah. And Monsters is what I drink, so if you like Monster, pick them up at your store. You can get a Monster anywhere that sells Pepsi products. Yeah, you can find them there. Alright guys, looks like this is what the piston is, and it looks like this is what those clips are. So these clips right here on top of the piston are gonna go down inside of a groove that is made inside of this piston. Now that sleeve goes through this, and if you look at the underside of the piston, that sleeve is what's gonna connect this piston to that connecting rod and then we're gonna get it all lubricated up with our Lucas assembly lube and get that slid on there with the new gasket on there, the new cylinder gasket. Yeah, let's go for the next part. Alright, so now the piston is connected to the connecting rod into the crankcase, and now we are going to move on to this, putting in the clips, those retainer clips that go inside of the holes on the piston here, of the sleeve, as you can tell. Those will go in there, and that will keep the piston from coming up and moving around, and that's what we're going for. So we're going to put those clips in next, and then we are going to lubricate up our cylinder, or not our cylinder, we're going to lubricate up our piston and our cylinder wall, because they were dry when I got them. Super dry, and they should not be dry. They should have a light lubrication to them, as you can see back there with the high performance assembly lube from Lucas, which you can pick up at any store. Any part store, sorry, not any store. There's some stores that sell Lucas stuff. It's just bare minimum. It's not anything like this high performance assembly lube that I use. So let's go on to the next part. Alright guys, we got one of them in. Took me a little bit of time to do it. Just glad I didn't have a video going, because it would have been a bunch of me dropping the little guy inside the crankcase. So let's move on to the other side, and then we're gonna move on to the next piece. Alright, stay tuned. Alright, so I wanted to show you the piston that came out of the old one. There's the new guy. Look at that. Ooh, nice and clean. Look at this guy. What? What? So, look at these deep gashes in the side of the piston. That's not supposed to happen. Cut right through the piston rings. Whatever happened while I was riding made it catastrophically destruct. Don't know what it was, because I was riding and then all of a sudden it just went bop, 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 bop. And it stopped. Just like that. No bang, no boom, no anything. It just stopped. Bop, 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 bop. So I just wanted to show you the piston. There we go. And then we got the clips. As you can see both clips in there. Next we're going to start putting that cylinder head on. Alright, we got the cylinder head here. We're going to lube up the cylinder walls. We're just going to do it with a light lube. We're not going to do a whole lot on there. We just want it to glide on there. But right now it's bone dry. There's no lubricant on it at all. And being a two-stroke, it gets its lubricant from the gas. So, but if you look in there, look at that. See there? It's a square there, or a rectangle, or whatever you want to call it. Same thing right there. Look at that. All these pieces brand new. Alright, so let's lube up that piston, get it into that cylinder wall, and get that head on there, and get it going. Alright guys, put the head gasket on there. Now these don't have water, these are air cooled, so we don't have to worry about anything about having to use any kind of sealer or anything around there. Some people will tell you to use sealer. When you torque it down, it should keep it pretty well sealed. The other one didn't have any of that sealer on it. It just had been torqued down to the spec, so we're just going to do that with it. Alright guys, so we got the cylinder head on there. It took me a little bit of time to do it, but I got it on there. So next part is to put the head on and go to the next part. So let's get the head on. Alright guys, there it is. Cylinder head on. There's a spark plug that goes on it. Now, this bad boy is pretty much ready to go on a bike and get ready to start it up and see if it works after this. Took me a little bit of time to get it put back together, but it is back together, so either we're gonna keep this bad boy and put it on another bike, or we might end up selling it like I do with a lot of other stuff. So yeah, that was a tutorial through a little bit of what to do. If I had a camera stand, I would have showed you how to do it at step by step. Maybe later on we'll do another video like that and we can get it going that way. Alright guys. Alright guys, so that was the tech tip for the day, was the rebuilding of a motor. At least the top end of it. So, do me a favor, like, subscribe, and down at the bottom, Leave a comment if you want. Let me know how I'm doing. Like I said, also if I would like to get a shout out to XPro, I would like to become a member of your team, and I would like to do what I need to do to get you guys to help me out and get your name out there. A lot of people are going to watch these videos, so I would like to unbox a motorcycle of your guys's choosing. I'm not very picky, so send me a bike as long as it's not red. Anything but red, okay? So that was our tech tip for the day. Have a great day. Patriot signing off.